Now then, welcome back to another episode on the ftog server, playing some more Avant 3. And I'm up in my spaceship, and it's very drafty on this side of the spaceship, very drafty indeed. I must do something about that. Maybe I'll do something about that today. I'm thinking that to start off with, I'll get this corridor running from one end of the ship to the other, so that we can have all the doors on and off. Like we've got over on this section. I don't know if I'll have a large section like this again over the other side, but like this corridor section, it's going from one airlock, which I need to finish as well, to another airlock, which, yeah, I need to finish the airlocks, obviously, and then put all the doors on with the pressure plates and all that kind of stuff. I have asked ftog'ians if I can have Marissa's doors, because they've got some really cool automatic doors that sound really spaceshipy, really cool. But yeah, I want to do some building today. For one, this corridor is okay with the per blocks and a few factory blocks. It's okay, but I'm not thrilled with it anymore. I kind of just did it because I needed something to be there. What I want to do is try and craft something a little better. But for now, I just want to get this design transplanted over to this corridor over here. Figure out where we're going with it all. Build this corridor down here properly as well, and then see what space I've got left in this area to kind of link up with this room and that window over there, and just kind of get some structure in this section of the ship, because this section of the ship, the back end, has not been built yet. So I'm going to need to start building out between episodes the next part of the ship. But I'd just like to finish off the final touches for this ship first. So all I'm going to do for now is I'm going to copy this design, right? Even though this isn't my final work, this is good enough to make this ship look cool all the way through. And then I will probably try and get myself a room just under here, like around here somewhere, opposite the blocks. So a room opposite the blocks, maybe in here, where I can experiment with different block types and block colours and things like that, and show kind of a palette of blocks that I could use for things, and come up with some chisel and bits ideas that then I can copy and transplant around and about the place. But I might not get all that done today, so I'm going to start by duplicating some of the work I've already done, and including, I'm planning on taking some chisel bits, like so. Chisel bits, let's get a large cube, yeah, that'll do. Chiseling stairs out, so we chisel out of that. We are going to have the problem that this is going to have the runner running down it though. Dang it, okay. Well, I'll have to figure a way to fix that, maybe with some other staircase stuff. Oh, and I didn't put a bag in me inventory, typical. Let's throw that down. Put a bag in my inventory. There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to change the stairs up to carpeted steps, or at least what looks like carpeted steps, instead of having white steps. Because it always felt odd to me having the stairs going up to white steps. So I'm going to put like a carpet runner type thing. My only issue is this little bit here, which I'm going to need to figure out. I'll probably need a different block type, and then I can chisel out those bits and put in another bit instead. So I've got a lot of work to do, a lot of chiseling bits in to do, but I have got quite a luxurious morning all to myself to be able to do it. And I'm going to take my time with it. So for starters, I'm going to get a rough walls up. I'm going to get the walls up first, and then I'll be right back. Okay, well, we've got a great start on making all the corridors in the right places. These corridors here at the back end of the ship, or the back end of the ship so far, is now in place, and I've also got the corridors running down the ship in place. I'm just having a sort of a walk around now and a feel for it. I'm just trying to get a feel for it. I've put double doors with glass painted pressure plates, just so that I can open doors automatically. I really would like the Melissa's doors mod, but still. I've got a way through here that I've got to transition into this room, and a way here which I've got to transition into the underside of that, and maybe the underside of this. I don't know what this is going to be yet. This is going to be, well, it was going to be like a palette room where I can decide what colours to do things. But at the minute I'm just working on doing the airlocks. I'm looking at airlocks, and I'm looking at what I can do to make the airlocks look cool. Now, these airlocks are going to be slightly different from the other airlocks because of the location of some of the blocks here. But we're still working on it. Still working on how to make it good. Simply place blocks in the wrong places. Yeah, that's good. So I think I'll go on the inside edge of these ones because it's slightly different airlocks. Slightly different, so I'll go inside with these ones. And just figuring out what to make it look like. That goes there, okay. And then this is the portal in, and that goes through. Okay, that's good. What to do on the top? It might just be purple blocks for now. And then on this side, there's nothing really stopping me going in and out. But I should have one of those crystals on the other side of it. Yeah. Having an access point to that might be also very helpful. Because what am I going to do with getting access to places? Because I've got to have access to behind it. So I need somewhere where I can get up on top of the roof. Most of the roof I've done in half slabs. And half slabs and stairs and the like. So that I can keep going in between them all. But some places are adequate like this. And other places just don't have anything going on for them. So what am I going to do with those? I've got to decide all of this and figure out these sort of rooms here. Because this really should be a room of its own. Should be a room of its own. But there's no particular viewpoint to look in and get out of it. The locations for the corridors have lined up oddly, I suppose you could say. They've lined up a little bit odd. So I could bring it through on these sides here into the rooms on both sides of the upper corridor. That could work. Bring it in this way and then have it going into the room, or a glass floor, something like that. A glass floor going to this because it's the right height for the floor here. So I'm deciding now what to do with this section, and also whether or not to do anything with the thermal evaporation blocks. Just to make sure they're ever hot and full and ready. So I've got still a fair bit to do, and I'm still undecided upon many courses of action that I should do. One thing down here is this gravestone. I think I'm going to get rid of that now. But we've got the glass block there. I might just bring the whole floor up to meet this, and then use the shape of this drill as the room shape. And build up around it and make a kind of an oval, no, a cylinder. I'd make a cylinder out of it, a cylindrical room, and then this would be the entrance here. Let's take this out. See, where would I come in then? So I'd be coming into the room here, which is not quite symmetrical or central. But it works for the corridor. It works for the corridor. So that's okay, I suppose. And then maybe a window looking in. Maybe turn this into a window, but then I've got this shoddy looking wall there. Got to think things through. I think a door there is probably the wisest choice. Having a door there and having a door here as well is the way into these rooms. I think that's the best. Like so. Yep. And then we can break this up and have this for the flooring type, which I have some blocks of. Good, good. Let's do that. Like so. Okay, so we're getting in that way. And then when we get into here, I've got a bit of a space, a bit of a gap between that room and this, so I'd have to do a little bit of a corridor going on in there, but that's okay as well. What shall I put down as that for now? Let's go there and put a door on it, put that on it, and then tink, should open, yep. And then put pressure plates there and there, and bring this in this way. And put that there and a pressure plate for now. There we go. Pressure plate doors, sealing the place in. Very good. Awesome. Okay, but the corridors are all kind of in place. I still want to do a lot of work on things like the stairs. I couldn't figure out what blocks to use for the stairs. I may end up changing the flooring completely in order to put stairs there properly. And some of the transitions, well, I think they're the best I can get in Minecraft, but they don't feel like perfect. They don't feel perfect yet, but then again they're not, so I'm okay. As you can see, I am very undecided about a lot of things right now. I'm trying to figure out what to do. That was alabaster on the top of those, so we'll do that on the top of the other ones over here as well. Yeah, I'm very still in the deciding stage of the designs. Still trying to figure out what to do with it all to make it look right. And piece by piece, block by block, we are building the spaceship out. Little by little. But I'm happy with some of the rooms. Like, I'm happy with this room. And the way it transitions into the corridor, I like that. I like the transition there. I'm okay with this bit as well. And how it transitions from inside to the corridor and back. I like that. That's good. So, really I've got to come up with something on the processing level. I've got to come up with something around these now to satisfy me to get this section sorted out. So let's begin by defining the edges of the room. So I've got this here, which is technically an edge of the room, which I should probably work out so that that only gives us really one block of wall space here. So we should only have one block of wall space here as well. And that would then leave me with a little gap here for being able to check on the towers. And then on the other side here as well, we've only really got one wall space again. So put that into there like that. And then of course that can all go down to the ground level. But do I want to leave something underneath for us to get to? I don't think I need to get to this section. I think this section can just be all filled in with stone. Just to clean it up nicely. Keep it all tidy over this side. And I'll do that on the other side as well. I'm going to try and double up and duplicate both sides similarly. I still don't know if I'm getting it right. I'm trying my best to keep things as simple as possible. Just so that I can have something cool at the end that isn't too complicated. And then make it complicated at some later date. But this room at the moment is just a great big white box. It was originally intended to be a great big white box. Because when I set the solar panels in place, the solar panels were meant to be the roof of this big box. Bump. And now I've done alabaster walls all the way down. I've kind of got to give it some features and some details because it's very, very white and bland and boring. And I need features on it. Not because the features need to be anything other than stuff that's interesting. Like just adding a touch of colour with these things. Just that little detail there sets the floor off a little bit better for me. Just makes it pop a little bit in my mind. And I need some more of that, please. Yeah, so another thing that I was thinking of doing was lighting it up and adding in some wires for no reason other than to add wires. I got sea lanterns because sea lanterns are in above. I might do sea lanterns in the corners, like so. Maybe I should do some sort of glass in it as well, because that kind of works. And then maybe I could use these end rods in the underneath positions like this to also add more light, but also generate a little bit more interest down here. Like it's doing more than just having this awesome laser sticking out of it. And up the corners, up the sides, I should have some kind of pillaring effect. Now, I probably want to use chisel and bits for the pillaring effects and stuff. But at the minute, it's pretty bright. At the minute, it's pretty bright. And it's looking okay. I might put a stairs going up there to the door. And maybe bring some kind of computer system down into here so I've got access to things. Even though I've got access to it there. And the redstone and everything's in the right places there. I don't know. See, this is also sticking out, this redstone receiver. So practically, the redstone receivers are in the right places. But that's for turning on and off things. So that's like processing on and off that way. And that's leading to there, basically, and extracting, yeah. Extracting requires a redstone signal. Maybe I should automatically extract all the time. But then it also, then it goes to processing something else, doesn't it? So maybe I need to have this on the other side there, controlling it going into something else externally. That just doesn't feel right. That just doesn't look right. Maybe I've got something else I could do. Maybe there is another way around making some kind of central control system here. I mean, that fan's not required. A central control system to make it look a little bit better might be cool. Hiding the wires, maybe. Hiding the wires is probably good as it is. I don't want to hide the wires. That's not a good idea. But whether to do a glass floor or not might be worthwhile still trying to do that glass floor. Let's put a bit of alabaster there and there just to round it off. And same over here. Just to round it off and finish this off. And then maybe the floor on this level leads down to the floor on this level. This needs to be left open like this, I think. It's well lit, and I can see what's in there, and that's good. So let's put some glass, but not all glass, in here. Like, maybe just square it off. That might work. Before I was trying to do a pattern for it, and now I can square it like this, and then bring the white around. Hey, I didn't mean to do that. And then I can add a pillar in type thing underneath there to add a bit more detail, and add a little bit more detail up here as well. And then start thinking about detail for the walls, just to make that look good. And it's detail for detail's sake at this point, but I do want it to look cool, and that looks okay, looking through the ground floor there. It also allows me to have a little bit more walkway as I come into the room to be able to do things. Bring that around this way. And the other one on the other side should be exactly the same size and shape, because the solar panel is exactly the same size and shape on the other side. It's just the oddness of this particular entrance, because it's off because of the corridor. I come in from a slightly different angle, but that's okay so long as I trap it all this way. And yeah, I've surrounded it like that, so that makes it look good. Maybe I need a surround going around it. That would be another thing. Chisel and bits it. Some more surround stuff going around there. That might be cool. And do I want to have a way down here? Do I want a stairwell down, like a trapdoor going down it in one of the corners, so you can get down there? I don't really need to get down there, so I may as well just leave it so you can't get down there. I think that'll work. And then we need to come up with some design work on the walls. But from the outside, it doesn't really... From the outside, I'll just go fall through it, that's it. From the outside, you can't really tell that there's anything going on in there, because the white walls are this original white wall design this just needs to go all the way down. So from the outside, it's okay. And when I'm walking around to do all the wiring and stuff, it's going to look the same as the floor and the ceiling, so it's all going to be nice and clean. I don't need details and fancy stuff in the maintenance area, but that means I can also take blocks out of here whenever I feel like it and substitute them with things like fans. Let's get back in here. Substitute them with things like the fans. These fans here. Maybe like a fan just there. Just those occasional blocks to give it a bit of detail and a bit of size and shape. And add in some control panel features and stuff. I might want to go with like chiseling off a block and adding the fan in that way. Because if I do a chisel and bits is this one. If I do a chisel and bits on one of these, right? Let's just place it down there for now. If I do that, take that away, that's the factory block. Is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. I should be able to do a plane on top and just add detail that way. So it pronounces itself slightly from, making it a little bit more 3D. So I can take a couple of those and just like bulk them out a little bit just to add a little bit more detail onto the walls without physically moving the walls or changing the walls or taking blocks out of the walls. Now I've got a nice blank canvas to play around with. And there's lots of different blocks that I could potentially use to make things happen. Like we tried that block earlier that was with wires. So how about we take some of those again now and just have, I don't know, let's have it down here. And let's take one section off there, add that to there, and then go with taking the bits out. Have we got any bits in here? I've got a bit. Let's take those bits. So, I picked the wrong side to do it on, didn't I? So, let's see. Let's change it to a single bit, and we could just take out all of these bits that we don't really want, and have certain designs appearing on the wall. And I don't need all of the colours of all the blocks, so I can chisel bits it to remove certain things. Like, I don't particularly want the blue there, so I could take that out. And then I could maybe add in something else as well. I think... Oh man, I really need to get that glass done. Just to make it stand proud like that, and not necessarily doing anything. I could probably put some redstone block bits in to make it do something else. Just little looking like control panels bits. That's what I'm thinking. Just to add a little bit of a feature here and there. But I think the detail work is got to be left a little bit. I think having ideas for bits of detail is one thing. I mean, that looks almost completely different to the block originally. But I could add more to that. Yeah. I don't know. I've got to think about it a little bit more in here. For now, though, let me make sure that I've got both rooms up to the same similar standard, and then that's a good start. We'll chisel them bits away at some other times. And if you could show me images, if you post links in the comments, if you post links, I generally have them so that they will be hidden straight away. But if you post a link to a picture or tweet me on my Twitter account, of course you tweet me on my Twitter account, that's Captain Obvious. If you tweet me a picture of something chisel and bitsy from the mod pack, then I could use that. And if you suggest things from like Mechanism or RF Tools or something that can just sit on the wall and make it look like it's functioning and does something, then that would be cool. Control panels and stuff like that, maybe. So any suggestions, leave them in the comments down below. But that is all I've got time for today, folks. So thank you all very, very much for watching. I will see you in the next episode of Avant 3.